Call of Duty has strayed far from its golden days. Once hailed as the ultimate first-person arcade shooter, it's now a shadow of its former self. What was once a beloved game has turned into a corporately controlled, heavily monetized, and downright exploitative machine. Every aspect seems designed to trickle out just enough dopamine to keep you addicted, all while bombarding you with microtransactions at every turn. Today, we're exposing the evidence that proves how deeply manipulative it's become, and how Black Ops 6 takes these broken mechanics to their most extreme level yet. First on the chopping block, engagement-optimized matchmaking. Forget standard skill-based matchmaking. This system is far worse. It doesn't just track your skill, it actively manipulates your game outcomes, balancing wins and losses to keep you hooked. This concept is rooted in UCLA research, which revealed that artificially rigged match results are more effective at keeping players engaged than traditional matchmaking based on skill or connection. And if that's not alarming enough, the worst part? Engagement-optimized matchmaking destroys your connection quality. The system's narrow player pool creates painfully long queue times, forcing you into matches with pings of 40, 50, or even 60 milliseconds in the US. And it's a nightmare for players overseas. Why? Because the system prioritizes setting up the perfect balance of opponents, predetermined to deliver a win or loss. And when it can't pull this off, the game takes it a step further, nerfing you mid-match. The mix of in-game parameter manipulation and engagement-based matchmaking creates a calculated nightmare that dictates every aspect of your experience, robbing you of any real control. The system thrives on inconsistency, and that's by design. Why? Because inconsistency fuels addiction. It keeps you chasing the thrill of a win while making every loss feel just close enough to victory to keep you hooked. Still not convinced? Let's examine how Activision has addressed these concerns. In a blog post supposedly aimed at transparency, Activision dodged every major accusation about this rigged system. One question from the blog stood out. Does the Call of Duty matchmaking process impact any in-game elements, such as hit registration, player visibility, aim assist, damage, etc.? Their response? A firm no. Our matchmaking process does not impact gameplay elements. But think about it. How would matchmaking even affect in-game mechanics? Matchmaking simply sets up the games. This answer isn't just misleading, it's absurd. Activision's response feels like a carefully worded deflection, likely reviewed by a legal team to avoid direct accountability. Another question asked, does Call of Duty consider player engagement, such as time played, as a factor in matchmaking? Their reply, we do not consider how often or how much you play when determining matchmaking. Sounds straightforward, right? Not quite. Activision subtly redefines engagement to mean player satisfaction or emotional investment, not time played. By shifting the definition, they sidestep the core issue and avoid addressing engagement-based matchmaking directly. So there you have it. Not one honest response, just a series of deceitful tactics aimed at silencing the public. Every answer is a Trojan horse, carefully constructed to sidestep the real issues. After seeing this masterclass in deflection, it's clear Activision is hiding something. Take skill-based damage, for example. Activision claims that matchmaking doesn't influence damage, yet that's a deflection in itself, because it doesn't need to. When it comes to the microtransaction issue, they shift focus to how much you spend, completely ignoring how skins actually affect matchmaking. It's not about how much money you fork out. It's the skins you equip that tip the scales in your favor. And when it comes to the concept of engagement, Activision redefines it to mean time played, in order to dodge the issue of engagement-optimized matchmaking, even though time played isn't what's being scrutinized here. Now, let's dive into the patents. Activision holds patents that outline systems specifically designed to manipulate in-game parameters to favor players based on skill. And this isn't a one-off. There are multiple patents, which only strengthens the case that they're invested in refining this technology. These systems have the power to adjust your hitbox, health, damage output, and even nerf you mid-match if you're dominating too much. But it doesn't stop there. One of these patents directly rewards players who spend money. For example, if you buy a sniper skin, you might find yourself matched against less experienced snipers. Essentially, pushing that skin is more effective. Your entire gameplay experience is manipulated. Whether you're spending money or performing too well, nerfs are applied mid-match to keep you in check. Let's be real. Developing a patent takes time and resources, and companies don't invest in them just to let them sit unused. If Activision's created these patents, it's a good bet they're actively being put into practice. With skill-based damage mechanics becoming more prevalent this year, it all starts to make sense. Black Ops 6, with its breakneck pace and overwhelming movement mechanics, represents the peak of this broken system. Skill-based damage is more prominent than ever, with real-time nerfs for top players, and these patents provide undeniable proof, possibly the most most outrageous manipulation in the game is keeping everyone locked at a 1.0 KD while tricking them into thinking they're actually improving. Take the recon perk, for example. It lets players see enemy locations right after they spawn, but here's the catch. The most powerful perks, like Ninja, Tracker, Ghost, and Vigilance, are all crammed into the same category. If you equip 3 of them, you get a free recon perk, clearly designed to push players into using this setup. Recon is a game changer for immediate deaths after a kill, offering no real advantage on the map. Combine this with poorly designed spawns, and the result is pure chaos. Spawns are random, unpredictable, and break the flow of the match. Better players get punished because they can't anticipate or control engagements, which tanks their KD and stifles skill expression. Then there's the map design. Messy, cramped, and filled with unpredictable sightlines. These maps aren't built for competitive play or streak building. They're crafted to enforce that 1.0 KD experience. Add recon to the equation, and it becomes painfully clear the system is working against you. And the ultimate trick? They manipulate your stats to make you believe you're performing better than you actually are. Assists count as kills, so if you finish a game with 40 kills and 20 deaths, but half of those are assists, you'll think you're a 2.0 KD player. In reality, you're stuck at 1.0 KD, exactly where the system wants you. What really seals the deal, though, is the use of AI in this rigged system. AI-generated prestige icons and skins, created using generative AI and sold for $20 each. There's also the AI NPC profiling patent, which tracks your playstyle to create an AI version of you, essentially a robot clone. And let's not forget the AI chatbot monitoring in-game communications, banning players for anything it deems offensive. Oh, and Treyarch even admitted to hiring specialists in generative AI, which might explain why this game often feels more like it was made by algorithms than by humans. To sum it all up, the game manipulates every aspect of your experience to squeeze more money from microtransactions. When confronted, Activision dodges these accusations with carefully worded, legally safe language that avoids direct denial, because they can't deny it. Instead of skill-based matchmaking, they use engagement-optimized matchmaking to rig your wins and losses, keeping you hooked longer. The player pool you face is so small because the system forces everyone into a 1.0 KD range. If nobody stands out, everyone stays balanced. Poorly designed maps and spawns add to the chaos, making matches feel random, and their dependence on AI, profiling your playstyle, generating assets, and even controlling in-game interactions raises serious concerns about whether you're actually facing human players or AI bots. The evidence is overwhelming, and there's little to counter it. Underneath the flashy graphics, nostalgia bait, and endless hype is one of the most deviously manipulative and rigged gaming experiences ever designed. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and if you like this video, be sure to check out more related content shown on screen.